Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins. The most valuable, Abraham Lincoln Wheat. Penny coins, value in market. First up, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a fascinating coin that continues to capture the attention of coin collectors and everyday treasure hunters. Even though it was struck in large numbers at the San Francisco Mint, its charm lies in its history and the condition in which it survives today. When we talk specifically about a 1952 penny in fine condition, we are referring to a circulated coin that shows noticeable wear, but still holds onto all of its key design features. In fine condition, you can clearly see the date and mint mark under the year. Lincoln's portrait is visible though worn, and the wheat stalks on the reverse side still have definition, though the finer lines and crispness are no longer sharp. This condition is quite typical for coins that spent decades moving through everyday commerce in the mid-20th century. Now, let's talk about its value in today's coin market. The truth is, the 1952 penny is not considered a rare coin, and millions were minted. Because of this high mintage, circulated examples in fine condition do not bring big money. On average, a 1952 penny in fine condition is worth $1,000 above its face value, usually around 5 to 15 cents in everyday trading. However, collectors still buy them because they want to complete their wheat penny sets, and pennies with the San Francisco mint mark always hold a bit of extra appeal. In some cases, depending on eye appeal, color, or how nicely preserved it is, a coin in fine condition may bring closer to $1 from an interested collector. Still, it is important to understand that the real big prices you sometimes hear about with wheat pennies only apply to very high-grade examples in mint state, often graded MS-67 or MS-68, with bright original red color. Those coins can sell for thousands of dollars at auction, but that is a completely different situation than a coin that has seen everyday circulation. The main thing collectors appreciate about the 1952 in fine condition is its history, and the fact that it still stands as a solid collectible coin more than 70 years after it was struck. If you happen to find one in your change, the best advice is to never clean it. Cleaning damages the natural surfaces and takes away collector value. Instead, simply store it in a safe place like a coin flip or holder. If you plan to sell it, you can check recent sales on online marketplaces like eBay to get a feel for what similar pieces are bringing. Most of the time, you'll see them sell in small lots or as part of wheat penny collections, with individual fine-grade coins not commanding much on their own. Even so, holding onto coins like the 1952 penny connects you to American history, when these cents were still part of everyday life in the 1950s. While the financial value of a fine condition coin is modest, the sentimental and historical value makes it worth saving, especially for anyone building a complete Lincoln Wheat penny set. That's what makes coin collecting exciting. You never know when an ordinary-looking penny might turn out to be something special, and even the more common dates still carry a story worth holding on to. Next up, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is another classic coin that many collectors and hobbyists come across when searching through old collections, coin jars, or inherited boxes of change. This particular penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark beneath the date. By 1956, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly half a century, and the wheat reverse design was nearing the end of its run before the memorial reverse debuted in 1959. The 1956 penny is not especially rare, as the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of them, but condition, eye appeal, and errors are what really determine how much a specific coin might be worth in today's market. When we say the coin is in very fine condition, that tells us it has seen circulation but still retains more detail than a lower-grade piece. In very fine grade, you can expect to see strong details in Lincoln's hair and beard. The lettering and date are clear and sharp, and the wheat stalks on the reverse still show good definition with the central lines mostly intact. However, since you mentioned this coin has some scratches, that does slightly lower the value because collectors prefer coins with clean surfaces. Even so, a coin graded at very fine with minor marks can still hold value above face. In the current coin market, the 1956 Lincoln penny in very fine condition without a mint mark typically sells for around 10 to 20 cents, though many dealers may only pay $120,000 if buying in bulk. The scratches can push the price down closer to the lower end of that range, but if the coin still has pleasing color, it could be worth saving for a collection. Remember that most wheat pennies in circulated condition are common, so it is not unusual for them to trade for just slightly above face value unless they are in mint state or have an error variety. That said, higher-grade 1956 wheat pennies with bright red luster and minimal marks have been known to bring several dollars, and in the highest certified grades, auction prices can reach into the thousands. It is a good reminder that condition is everything in coin collecting. While your example in very fine condition with scratches may not be rare or high in dollar value, it still carries a historical charm and makes a nice addition to any Lincoln cent set. If you have one, the best practice is to keep it stored safely in a coin holder to prevent further damage. Avoid cleaning it, because cleaning only reduces collector interest. Even common-date wheat pennies are worth holding on to, as many people enjoy completing the full series from 1909 through 1958. Your 1956 penny represents one of the final years of the wheatback design, and for that reason alone, it is a collectible piece of American coinage history. Next up, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is another coin that many collectors come across, and it often raises the question of whether it carries any special value. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at that time, so finding one without a mint mark is completely normal. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1956, making it one of the more common wheat penny dates. Because of this large mintage, the coin is easy to find in circulation and is not considered rare. Collectors often acquire them in rolls, bulk lots, or as part of sets without much difficulty. Now, when we talk about a 1956 penny in damaged and dirty condition with scratches and heavy wear, the value changes significantly. Collectors pay the most for coins in high grades with original surfaces, but a coin that is dirty, scratched, or damaged falls into what numismatists call low grade or problem coins. In this condition, it unfortunately does not hold any significant collector premium beyond its face value of $180,000. Sometimes a dealer might include such a coin in a bulk lot of wheat pennies, where they are sold by the pound or in rolls, but on its own, a damaged and dirty 1956 penny is usually worth just thousands at most. Even if the date is fully readable, the heavy damage makes it undesirable to most collectors. It's also important to note that cleaning a dirty or scratched coin does not increase its value. In fact, cleaning usually lowers its value because it strips away the natural surfaces that collectors prefer. If you have a 1956 wheat penny in this type of condition, the best thing to do is simply leave it as it is. Many collectors actually like keeping these coins as history pieces, since every scratch and mark tells a story of the coin's journey through circulation over the decades. While the damaged 1956 penny isn't valuable in the traditional sense, it still holds historical interest. It represents a time in American history when the Lincoln wheat penny was still in everyday use, and people carried these coins in their pockets during the post-war years of the 1950s. For new collectors or children starting out in coin collecting, even a worn or damaged 1956 penny can serve as a fun introduction to the hobby. It can also inspire someone to begin looking through their change for other wheat pennies, some of which might turn out to be scarcer dates or coins in better condition. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most common and widely collected pennies from the World War II era. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, it came after the famous 1943 steel cent, which was made from zinc-coated steel due to copper shortages during the war. By 1944, the mint returned to the traditional bronze composition, and because so many were produced, the 1944 penny without a mint mark is still easily found today in circulation and collections. Even though it is common, collectors love it because it represents a turning point in U.S. coinage history and ties directly to the events of World War II. When we say a 1944 Lincoln penny is in good condition, we are describing a coin that has clearly been circulated and shows significant wear. In good grade, Lincoln's portrait on the front is still visible but worn down. Fine details such as his hair and coat lines are flat, and the word Liberty and the date remain legible, although possibly faded. On the reverse, the wheat stalks are outlined, but much of the finer grain detail is gone. In addition, if your coin has a few scratches, that can slightly lower its appeal to collectors since scratches are considered damage rather than normal wear. Even with these flaws, the coin remains collectible, but condition always plays the most important role in value. As for today's market value, a 1944 penny without a mint mark in good condition is not rare, and usually trades for just $110. Usually often $128,000. These coins are so common that dealers and collectors typically buy them in bulk rather than individually. If you check sold listings online or coin shop prices, you'll often see rolls of 50 wheat pennies, including many 1944 pieces, selling for a few dollars. That gives you an idea of just how available they are. Still, even though the coin's financial value is low, it holds strong sentimental and historical importance for collectors who enjoy filling in the popular Lincoln Wheat Cent albums. It is important to know that higher grades of the 1944 no mint mark penny can be worth much more. In extremely fine condition or uncirculated mint state, these coins can reach values of several dollars, and brilliant red mint state examples certified by grading services have sold for much higher at auctions. But again, in the good condition with scratches that you've described, the coin's value stays on the modest side, usually under a quarter. If you find a 1944 Lincoln penny, the best thing to do is save it as part of your collection. Even if it doesn't bring big money, it is a piece of history from over 80 years ago, a time when the world was changing and the United States was moving out of wartime coin production. Every wheat penny tells a story, and coins like the 1944 Philadelphia issue remind us of the resilience of that era. For collectors, the value is not just measured in dollars, but also in the connection to America's past.